Hey, we're out at the Americana Theater with CJ Newsom out here talking about your show that you have. What's the official name of the show?
Yeah, it's Classic Country's Patsy Cline and Friends.
Do you do any Patsy Cline music in it?
A little bit, yeah.
That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Like, don't do any of it.
Yeah, that would be crazy, though.
Yeah, I told Daryl Croy that does the Jerry Lee Lewis. I said you should have people out and just say, it's Daryl Croy with Jerry Lewis, and do just Jerry Lewis stuff. Not Jerry Lee Lewis, but just like Nutty Professor. Just stand up there and do that the whole time. So
nice. He's like 90 years old now.
Who? Jerry Lee Lewis?
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't follow
Sorry,
him,
that's off the subject.
Yeah, whatever. So he's not one of the friends in the show that you have going on. How many friends do you have in the show?
Well, I do when I talk about the friends, I do like classic country. I do some Loretta Lynn, Reba, Dolly Parton, and then the guys, our band, they'll sing like Johnny Cash and George Jones.
So they do country. Do they also do Western? Because I'm not much for this music thing.
Yeah,
they do both. I had never listened to country music before I moved to Branson, to tell you the truth.
Okay, so yeah, this is a whole new world for you.
It is a whole new world.
Don't sing about it though.
No. But you do the old school country stuff, not the new kind of poppy.
Yeah,
do you guys do that?
No, we don't actually. I mean, we dabbled in it before, and who knows what the future will bring. You know, it sort of depends on what demographic ends up coming to our show. But thus far, we're just oldies. And that has to do with my raising. Actually, my folks raised me on that.
Really?
Generation
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, where did you grow up?
In the area.
Right here around the theater?
Yeah.
You got a little place out here behind the dumpster?
Yeah, a tent, yeah. No, I graduated from Rogersville, which is about 20 miles east of Springfield. And we spent our summers and our weekends here in Branson. So I pretty well, my first show was Roy Clark. I mean, so I've been in Branson and been a part of the community for quite some time, actually.
Yeah? So you knew what it was. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. I knew what I was getting into.
I thought it was owned by Richard Branson.
Oh, wow.
Seriously.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably a common thing. People probably thought that.
Because I knew who he was. I had never heard of Branson, Missouri. And so somebody said, no, that's where Grandma goes, once a year. And I go, where she buys those terrible shirts? Because she would come back with these tie-dye things, and we would hide them. No. We didn't know this was your shirt. We're washing the car with it. Like stuff like that.
Nice. I'm sure she appreciated that.
Yeah, right. So we had no idea what it was. But you grew up right here in the area, so you probably grew up going to Silver Dollar City. Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know if it just happens whenever you grow up in the area or not, but Branson kind of became home. It felt like home all this time. I mean, I was adopted, and my folks were already retired when they adopted me as a baby.
Oh, well, that must have been an interesting upbringing.
I mean, they were 50, 60 years old
when you were really little.
I was a little baby. Yeah. So that's how I got interested in older country. I mean, older country.
You didn't have a choice, really.
Exactly. Well, and. The funny part is, I love music so much, it didn't really matter. It's one of those things where music is music, and good music especially. You just sort of gravitate towards things, basically. I mean, for instance, I noticed every time that I sang Patsy Cline music, people really liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got what I call an introductory clap most every time I started to sing her music. And so I ended up gravitating towards it and finding, wow, she's got some really great stuff. So
yeah, and a lot of that's coming back around because we've been talking with Amber and Matt with the 60s and 50s show, and Barry Williams a while back, and all of that music, the older music, is coming back in the kids' movies and stuff now.
Yeah.
In your, all of your Kung Fu Pandas and your whatever they have going on, Toy Stories and all that stuff. But it's all coming back. So your demographic, are you getting a younger audience now compared to what you did?
I mean,
how long have you been doing the show, first of all?
Well, this is 4 years now.
4 years.
This will be 4 years, and we just keep moving on up.
Yeah, right.
And it's been great. This is exactly what I wanted to do. In fact, Americana, especially with Matt and Amber, I mean, great people to work for. We've really been having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly how did you get into doing a show? So what did you want to do when you were younger? Okay, so you have these older parents,
Yeah.
right? What did you want to do when you were little?
Well, as general as it may sound, I wanted to be a singer. I didn't exactly know what that meant. I was thinking
singing songs. In case you don't know.
It's like, unfortunately, with the artistic side of it, you don't know exactly where to aim. It's like, should I aim for this? Should I aim for... because for a long time, I wanted to go to Nashville because I'm like, that's
they
where
do country music
go.
there.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But then I met my husband, Chris. And
did he do a trick for you?
He did, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he's a magician too.
Yeah, you're right.
So he stole my heart.
Doing a trick.
Yeah.
See, whenever I used to take somebody out, I wouldn't do a trick for the long. Finally, after like several months, they're like, "You know how to do magic?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, that's great.
Like, yeah.
No, actually, what won me over was his sense of humor first and foremost. But yeah, he'd play and do vanishes all the time and magic. Yeah, so I did love that aspect of it. But once we got married, I figured out Branson was the place to settle, not Nashville.
Right.
And I was a part of a show, part of different shows throughout the years. I did a tribute to John. Well, I didn't do a tribute to John Denver.
That'd be awesome.
I was a female singer, which features some Peter, Paul, and Mary and some other great stuff. And I did that for 7 years and just doing little odds and ends. And the weird part is we were sitting in the Americana Theater watching another show, and my husband leaned over to me and he said, you could do this. You can have your own show.
Was it that it was a really bad show? Because I've been at things and somebody will be like, lean over and be like, you could so do that. You know what I mean? Was it that tone of voice?
The weird part is I don't even remember the show at the time, so
that'd be funny,
that's good for all,
Because
right?
I get that I get that all the time. We'll just be out at something. I'll be like, God, look at that painting. My kids could do that. No, but so he tells you that you could do that. So hopefully that's a compliment at this point.
Well, he believed in me, and I do too. But it's a lot of work to put a show together and to get it off the ground. And the amazing part is, with his business sense and my talent and my passion for it, we've been very successfwe It's been really great.
Yeah. Do you ever have to go and help at the magic shop?
Yes. In fact, I've worked the magic shop for years.
Have you really?
Oh my gosh. We used to have the one over in the IMAX.
Oh, I remember that.
And my daughter learned how to walk in the IMAX.
Yeah.
We were there just all the time.
Because I owned a chain of magic shops.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, before I moved to Branson. We had little ones. We had several locations. We had them in malls, and we had standalone shops. And my daughter did the same thing. Like, we had the little jumpy thing hooked on the door in the magic shop, and so she would go and sit with me at the mall. Yeah, exactly. And I even rigged up a thing so that she could sit in this little pouch.
Oh, cool.
Because we didn't have one day, so I rigged up a scarf, so she was riding around with me.
Nice.
And but the one over at Silver Dollar City, that's been there forever.
Yeah, we had the one at Silver Dollar City and Celebration City too.
I remember that one. That was a cool one.
Oh yeah,
I miss Celebration.
We had a
City.
huge shop to play with. We put sub trunk and all sorts of great, things in it. So
yeah,
but
I miss. Don't you miss Celebration City? We used to go there almost every night. My daughter and I, we'd go and we'd eat. We had our favorite spot. And then we would watch the fireworks almost every night. And we could see the fireworks from our house, too. But, I miss it.
Yeah, and actually, come to think of it, that's been forever ago. Geez. Back when Sean Paul and Julianne had their show, we were there.
With the monkey?
Yeah, that's right. We were their substitute. Like, they'd take one day off, and we'd do the illusion show. We didn't have any monkeys or anything.
Yeah, I love that little monkey.
Oh, Frankie?
Frankie,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
A few years ago, somebody got in touch with me, and they said, hey, we have a monkey. And we thought you might be interested in getting this monkey. I'm like, oh, no.
No, because...
I had a friend that had a monkey, and that thing lives, like, for 2 or 3 years. No. It lives for...
Well, very highly dependent.
Yeah, because they wear diapers all the time. You got to change them, like, every hour.
Why have
constantly.
a kid? You've got a monkey.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you.
Yeah,
no,
that's
Are there
a
monkeys in your show?
No.
Is that one of your friends?
The guys are they do act like monkeys.
Oh, well, that's going to be nice.
Yeah.
A little plug for them. Are you talking about the band, or are you talking about Terry?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
A little bit of all of it.
And, we have a 6-piece band, and I call them the recliners.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good
Instead
times.
of the decliners.
True. I guess that's better than that. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Eventually, I want to like have a billboard with the guys all sitting in recliners.
Oh yeah.
And me singing in the eventually.
And Terry could be your decline. Yeah.
Are you inclined to come see us?
Oh, look at this! You got it all. That's very punny. Yeah.
I gave it some thought. You know.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
You heard one, and your husband was like, you could do that. So you went to see a comedian. And, you could do that.
Instead, we hired one. Yeah. I mean.
So you got 6 pieces there.
6-piece band.
Which are all like trumpet. They all play the trumpet. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
No, yeah, that'd be a little distracting, I think.
Yeah.
No, we our lead guitarist, Josh Carroll. And then we have an upright bass, Forrest Herzog.
That's hard to say.
It's a mouthful, yeah. And our drummer is Andy Corcoran. And then we've got a couple utility players.
Utility players? What's that like? like water and power? This guy over here, he's just checking the plumbing. He's one of the utility players.
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that.
Are you playing like Monopoly here? What's this story?
Well, that's what musicians call themselves. It's not a derogatory term.
Oh, it's not?
No,
sounds really derogatory. It's like they went to a show and their wife was like, "You could do that."
By the way, when I laugh really hard, I cry. Anyhow, no. So they play more than one instrument.
I see.
Is what that means.
I see.
Yeah. Right. George Geyser, he plays steel, fiddle, harmonica, mandolin, and guitar. He's just ever so slightly talented. And actually, he has his own show too. He does a tribute to George Jones.
Oh, okay.
So, side note, and then
was he the guy with the colony, the Kool-Aid they had to drink? No, that was Jim Jones. Never mind. That's a whole different.
Yeah,
that would be a very weird.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, that'd be an entirely different show.
It would be. And we have a piano player, J.T. Lynn, and then our other piano player. He lays strings and synthesizer and bass, and then he does play trumpet. He plays flute, lute, saxophone.
Lute?
No, wait.
So, like the other cast, Amber and Matt do a 60s show. You do a 1360s show. We're going to play the lute. And then we're going to try some witches. Let's see if she can breathe underwater.
I always get confused. It's a clarinet. I'm sorry.
Oh,
the flute, clarinet.
A clarinet is entirely different than a lute. Isn't a lute like a little tiny guitar thing? What is that thing? What is that little...
That's a ukulele.
What? No, I think... Have you done a show before?
I sing. I don't play instruments.
Do you play any instruments?
Well, I play guitar a little bit. Nothing compared to my band members.
I have a terrible guitar story. We went to a really fancy sushi restaurant one time. And obviously they had it set up so on busy nights they would have like a little trio playing for the people in the lobby. And it was very nice. And I just made a comment to a girl that I was first date. And I said, I wonder if I could play that guitar. And the hostess said, "You're welcome to. We welcome people to give it a shot." So I got up and strummed away, and the horrific looks on people's faces, and I go, "Nope, I can't play that guitar." And the look on her face, she's like, "You should have played the lute."
Okay, so maybe it
flute,
is some sort of a small guitar.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
So the utility players always have those. So I'll ask the gas man when he's out. So,
nice.
I have no jokes about the electric guy, so I'm sorry. I know, shocking, isn't it?
See, you surprise yourself sometimes.
Yeah. So you have the band.
I had the band.
Yeah.
And then we just
You're
added...
crying like mad.
I know, right?
It's like Niagara Falls. There's a bunch of subway napkins there. Only the best here.
Well, but this is good because it's internet and they can't tell.
Yeah. Well, there's a secret hidden camera.
Oh, good. So. Great.
Not out here. It's in the restroom. So...
Oh. Nice.
So you have these 6 guys.
Yeah. And then just this year, like we've been doing the show for 4 years, but just this year we had a huge request for a comedian. And so we got 4-time Comedian of the Year, Terry Sanders.
Really? 4 times. Which times were those?
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
In years past.
And so what does he play?
Instrument-wise, he doesn't play an instrument.
Is he a utility comedian? Does he...
He's probably an impressionist comedian. I would go with, because he plays a lot of different characters.
And what's your impression of Terry, then?
Nothing but good.
Oh, that's good.
Nothing but good.
That's always nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's super sweet. I've known him for a really long time, actually. He's been out of Silver Dollar City.
He works at Silver Dollar City.
He's been there for 37 years.
Really?
Yeah, like an insane amount of time, like as long as a marriage.
Time.
You know, right? So I've known him ever since I was a little tot.
Did you see him when you would visit?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, I do, actually. I mean, I remember just as clear as day. In fact, when I was younger, he was on billboards going up the highway, and I can still see the picture. I mean, in my mind, like he was, a lot younger then, and so was I.
What are you trying to say?
Absolutely nothing. but it was this picture of this dog licking his face. Do you like?
Wait, the dog was licking its own face?
No, no. The dog was licking Terry's face.
Okay.
And it was sort of, I don't know what it was exactly. If it was just sort of an invitational, like, everybody's
It wasn't
welcome.
for a show or anything. Terry just bought this. She's like, look, this dog licked my face.
It was either advertising silver. Yeah, it was advertising silver.
Or hygiene.
Shepherd.
It could have been any of those things.
I don't know, but there's certain things that stick in your mind. And that's,
face.
I don't know,
That's what you remember.
Well.
Terry, when I first saw you, my fondest memory was somebody, not even something licking your face. When I think of Terry Sanders, I think of...
Never mind. Oh, my word. You need to make the tears any worse? I mean, really.
That's really funny. Well, I say at my show, if they're crying or laughing, I don't care. It's a reaction, right?
Right, absolutely.
So as long as you get a reaction, so...
Well, and he definitely does get a reaction.
Does he?
Not just from me, but
Do
from
people
the
lick
audience.
his face after the show? Just your lute player. He's like, we're utility. We do a little bit of everything. It's our job. If I come to the show, I'm bringing a dog, just so you know.
Oh, good.
I'm just going to sit there with a dog on my lap and just stare at Terry the entire time. Be like, remember this? I'm going to take you back.
That's great.
So, that's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
terrible.
know.
This show sounds amazing. You got lutes. You got recipient of dog licking. You got... And that's 20 minutes of the show. It's just Terry sitting there. Bring your pets. Not only do we have pet-friendly hotels here in Branson, we have
parks
shows.
and shows.
Yeah, just bring the dog out. So, yeah.
Yeah, you never know what to expect.
Apparently not. So, okay. So people show up to this show at the Americana.
Yes.
Which is, when is it? When is the show exactly?
We do 3 nights a week. We do Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday nights at 7:30.
7:30 a.m. is...
No.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I would have to get up at like 4 to warm my voice up. So
Really? Do you do that?
Not now, I don't.
No.
But the first year of our show, we had a morning show. And I did.
Is it terrible?
It was awful, actually.
Yeah, because I don't think we get a lot of morning people.
No, and it's definitely, we didn't have any advertisement or marketing ahead of us that year, and it was a lot of footwork, because I went out to the hotels and I would pass out the rack cards and information to people and stuff, and we'd have like audiences of 2,
Oh, yeah. A comedian came to town that I really liked. He's a famous comedian, had an HBO special. I remember when I was little seeing him, but he had cats licking his face. It was a whole different thing. But he came to Branson, and he was huge. And then we went to his show, and there were 4 people at his show.
Oh, my gosh.
And I asked him about it, and he said, one night I had two people in the audience. And it was just advertising. It's so hard to advertise. He said, I felt weird. So I said to them, I'll take you out to eat. Like, I'll take you. You already paid for the ticket. I'm not refunding your money. Tough. No, he refunded it. But they went out to eat and hung out the whole night, and he took them out for, he's like, I'll do the show for you if you want. Or we can go out and we can just have a conversation, have a good time.
Well, how cool is that?
Yeah, I thought that was cool. But my point is that here in Branson, no matter how big you are, it's tough. There's a lot of shows. We got like a dozen shows in this town.
Or more.
Yeah. And they're all like utility shows, so they do a little bit of everything.
I'm not going to get over that one, am I?
You're not, no. Yeah, no. I will never, ever let that go, just so you know. But my point is, there's so many shows, and no matter how good you are, Willie Nelson came to town, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that didn't work out. And we've had big name. Nelly came to town. Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. And I don't mean to keep focusing on country music, but he had Country Grammar, right? Was that one of his songs? But it doesn't matter because advertising is tough here. So,
No.
but now your show's doing good, right?
Yeah, and actually, the one thing that I've learned that works in Branson is music and comedy. If you can combine it in some way,
Because
it
when
really
you're
does
singing,
kinda work.
I laugh and laugh.
Hopefully, I don't have that effect on you.
Because my wife's like, dude, you could do that. You could- Here's a guitar. Go up there. No. But it does work. You know what works in Branson, in my opinion, is variety. Because even within a couple, you get a guy that really doesn't want to sit for all the music. The wife enjoys the music, but the guy needs something. You have to break up the show.
Yeah.
You know, people come to me and they're like, oh, have you ever thought of doing your whole show? And I'm like, yeah, I think it'll be terrible. Because I can't imagine somebody wanting to sit and watch me for that long. I said the only way I would do it is to do an Andy Williams type of variety show, which is what I'm doing now, where you host it and you get to do little bits here and there and stuff.
It's beautiful. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect for what I want to do. I don't want to do the whole show because then if you get bad reviews, they don't like you, which I'm used to that. You know.
Well, people try to compliment you and say, "Oh, you should do your own show," but no, my gosh, that's so much pressure.
It is so much pressure.
I mean, that's the thing I love about like first 3 years, it was me and the band, and my husband emceed the show, and he did a little bit of comedy.
Magic? Did he do the
He
magic?
did some magic, he did some comedy throughout the deal, like slush powder, bandana banana, just some real basic stuff, But it's hard, there's a lot of pressure whenever you just have so many things to look at.
Right.
And now with Terry, there's a lot to look at.
There is a lot to look at.
He has
Does he
several
still dress
characters.
up as a woman? Does he dress up as a woman in your show?
Multiple women, actually, not just Joe.
Really? All at the same time? That would be... That'd be quite a show.
Yeah, that would be. That would be interesting. No, he's become most well known for the Joan Rivers deal that he does.
Right. Yeah.
And I think
I've
he
seen
looks better than Joan Rivers did.
Now.
Well,
I'm sure.
What's beautiful is that he's adapted that to work even now too.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't dress. I dress as a woman if I drag race, but that's about it. I can't.
I can't picture you as a woman.
No, not anymore. No.
Not anymore. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. No, I just can't do it. I can't.
Well,
I don't look
it's
good.
amazing because when I'm standing there performing with him, you don't think, "Oh, this is a man beside me or a woman." I mean,
What are you trying to say?
He's good. I'm just saying
he's that good.
He's that good, and it's that natural.
Because so far, I'm getting that you enjoy when he's having his face licked, and that when you see him, you're like, I can't picture you as a man.
Dear Lord.
He's gonna love this.
Not
Wait till
at
he
all.
does the rebuttal.
Not at all.
of
I mean,
this.
oh gosh, I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble.
Probably if he listens to this, I don't know what he does. But
Trust me, he'll listen to it.
does he?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'll share
a
it
lot
with
of people
him.
listen to this.
Oh,
You'd be
man.
surprised. I have a special deal with GoDaddy because my my father-in-law helped the guy that founded GoDaddy.
Wow.
He employed him when he came back from Vietnam. It's a long story. It's quoted in the guy's book now. He wrote a chapter about my father-in-law where he came back from Vietnam, and my father-in-law employed him when no one else would.
Oh, wow.
And so he let him pay for his schooling about computers and stuff, and he founded GoDaddy. And so now we have like a special relationship with them. So we get all these cool stats and stuff from them.
That's
and
amazing.
it's cool. And so we get 700,000 people that listen to these things. Do you know that? That's huge.
That's-
700,000
yeah.
people are now listening to you talk about your show.
Well, let's
so,
see if we can entertain them somehow.
Yeah, so we get a lot. So we got a special deal. So what we do is we do these podcasts, and we don't charge anybody. That's all free. And so we like to promote things that we like.
That's really great.
And we like your show.
Thank
We
you.
like the magic that your husband does. And I go hang out at the, what's it called? The Magic Barn?
The
barn-
Mortimer's Magic Box.
Magic Box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been there. I mean, ever since the park was there. We've owned it now for about 8 or 9 years, and it's a blast. We love
Is
it.
it really a blast?
Yeah.
Because I sell some small magic stuff, just touristy type stuff, and it's interesting because
I don't know. I mean, we really get into it. 1900 themed.
That's fun.
You can just be your own little character out there. It's just kind of.
I used to do what do you call those? Renaissance festivals as a magician, and so I did an escape act as a magician, and so I would do an underwater escape act, but all I would do is have a bucket that was filled with water and just put my head in. I said, essentially, it's the same as me being in water, and water was very valuable during the Renaissance, so we don't want to waste the water. So I just put my head in the bucket.
It's very resourceful.
Yeah, you have to think about it that way. But you've been around magic. What's your least favorite magic trick?
The funny part is, I really don't like magic.
I hate it.
I like the beautiful. I love the sleight. You know, the sponge ball fool me. You know, I love that kind of stuff. I don't know my least favorite act.
What does your husband do that you hate the most? No.
What?
No, what do you just see in general? Because I don't like to see magic shows. I think they're what we were just talking about, variety. If I go and see a magic show, I get bored because I'm like, okay, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld does this thing where a magician is just somebody trying to show off, look what I can do, and you can't figure out. And I get sick of that after about 20 minutes. I'm like, great. Okay, do something else. It has to be a variety show. So,
I agree. It's more about the entertainment value. I mean, I've told a lot of people that magic is a really hard thing to pull off because you're up there and really essentially all you've got is moving the prop into place and ta-da.
Yeah.
Okay. Me, I get to sing and I can move around. I can do lots of things. I have it easier than a magician does. So, I mean, you got to give them props for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my least favorite routine of all would probably actually be linking rings.
Really?
I actually don't like linking rings at all. Now, I have seen magicians do incredible things with them where I'm like, oh, okay, now I've got my respect back for them. Yeah.
I do a redneck magician. I have a character that I travel with called the Redneck Magician from Branson. And I do linking barbed wire. So we have barbed wire rings, and they end up getting caught on me and snagging my clothes. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah. But I agree. The linking rings, that's a funny one because years ago when I first appeared at the Magic Castle, I had a guy that said that he liked my style because it's not about the trick. The trick is a side. So many magicians... The audience sits there and tries to figure it out. Like it's a challenge. Like, it's a puzzle. And he said with your act, the magic just happens when you don't expect it. And it makes sense for the story. He goes, for example, linking rings. He says, once you link them and you unlink them, the trick is over. Everything else is just wasting time. Yeah. So, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, that's neat. So
I definitely married into magic.
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, I like magic, but like I said, it's not my thing.
Yeah. Your thing.
Which is odd because I worked the shop for years, and that was just lots of fun.
What was that little? Yay!
Let me hold my enthusiasm down. But no, I'm really excited to be doing what we're doing now.
Doing what you're doing now, and you got the show. I mean, isn't it cool that we get to do what we dreamed about when we were kids?
Oh my gosh! And people say a lot about touring, but I mean, with children. Touring and all the traveling, no, not fun.
Do you do it?
A little bit, but you gotta eat somehow.
Yeah. Do you have kids?
I do. I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy.
Wow. I have 2. I have a 12-month-old and a 14-month-old. So. I don't mean to confuse you. Okay. No, I have twins. They're 4. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have twins?
I do.
I did not know that.
Which would be perfect in magic if they were identical, but they're not.
Oh.
Even though one's a boy and one's a girl. We have this discussion all the time. Because I mention it in the show. I have a boy and a girl, and people come out, so are they identical? No. There's a couple differences. Yeah, but people still insist. I have somebody that I work with that insists that they could still be identical twins. So I'm going to get him a little pamphlet as to why. So why that could be. You ever going to have him in the show?
No, probably not.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like doing that. I mean, now granted, my little boy is a singer. He loves to sing. Mm-hmm. And my little girl is a character, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to do that, because it becomes all about them, and then all of a sudden people expect it, and da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I think there are some really entertaining kids in town. But some shows I've been to, I don't think any that are currently running, the kid would come out and you just felt obligated to clap for the kid, even though they didn't even do anything. In the one show, she just came out and did nothing. And it was just very odd. No, I do work references about them. Yeah. And I even have a little videotape segment. But that's something that people are like, that's so cute how they do that every day. No, it took me 2 weeks to get them to do that. Oh. And a lot of editing to get them to say what I wanted them to say for a 10-second thing.
Well, and you can't depend on them. They get in front of a different audience. It's kids. Like...
No.
Okay, I didn't mean it like that.
Is this what you're saying? You're saying you can't depend upon my kids?
Okay, yeah, well, not what I meant. But
yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's not nice. They've seen the show. I remember leaning over at one point to my daughter going, Cassie, you're 3, but you could do that.
Well, it's funny because Caitlin, my daughter Caitlin, she wants to be in my show. And she's like, but I'm too scared to be in front of people.
That's a problem.
And I'm like, well, and see, that's why you're not in front of people, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I can remember feeling the same way when I was a pup. And my mom said, no, you're not.
Wait. When you were a pup.
Yeah.
Was Terry Sanders there? Everything comes back around, just so you know. So
I thought that was somebody's phone vibrating or something.
No, I think it's a tornado.
Your stomach?
What in the world? I don't know what that is, but that's crazy. No, but I think it's a jet landing. So. It's somebody rehearsing something.
Yeah.
So it's your utility band. Those are the lutes. That's what they sound like.
God.
But real quick, as we wind up, I always like to ask what you do with your family when you have free time. What do you enjoy about Branson? Give me 3 or 4 things that you would recommend to our tourists that listen to this that they might not know about. Other than like Silver Dollar, because you're out there working.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, actually,
Magic Crate. Or
I don't work out
it is.
there very often anymore. Actually, with the show, it pretty well.
Wouldn't it be weird to go out there? I don't know.
It's funny because you get sort of double glances because people don't really know you. You change one thing about it. And
well, when I first moved, when the landing first opened, they asked me to do some of they used to have the street performers. I don't know if they still do it or not.
Yeah.
But they asked me, would you come down? I'm like, sure, I live right there. So I'd go down for an hour. And then people would come up and say, oh, we saw you at the Showboat. So you work down here on the corner too? It was just a weird feeling.
Yeah. I don't get that so much because people don't really recognize me. So
yeah.
No, Silver Dollar City obviously is a great deal. I don't know what it is about the Ozarks exactly, but it just has a homey feel to it. I love the Ozarks because of the hospitality and the people that are here.
But you got time with the kids. Where are you going to take them?
You know, there are hidden gems everywhere, and being a local part of Branson is a huge benefit, of course, because, you know, we get into a lot of destinations at a discounted rate.
Right.
You know, and the kids have a blast at, you know, Dixie Stampede.
Oh, we love Dixie Stampede.
Just all this stuff, you know, the zoo. I mean, there's entertainment everywhere, you know.
There's a lot of things people don't know about.
Well, I mean, like my husband, his family lives down in Texas. Like a lot of his family lives down in Houston, and he said it's weird. We go down to Houston, and after 4 or 5 days, we're bored.
Yeah.
And Branson really does have a lot to offer.
You know what has a lot to offer? Your show.
Yes, I agree.
You got cross-dressing. You got, and that's the band. And then
they don't like to talk about that.
They don't. Okay. No, but you got the band, multi-talented utility band. You have the ever-amazing Terry Sanders. I've always been a fan of Terry's. I really have. Yeah, I have. Yeah. When I first moved here, I saw him on the Vacation Channel, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I've seen him in several things, actually.
Well, he's a great guy, and our personalities really, really click and work well together.
Yeah, that's good.
We've been having a blast. And, I mean, I'm getting to do exactly what I love to do. I sing all of Patsy's hits. I tell the people a lot of the stories around her life, get them a litlittle bit more familiar with who she was as an artist, because it's been a while now. You know, we ended up starting our show on the 50th anniversary of her passing. And
50, really?
50.
I did not
it's
know
been
that.
54 years now, actually, since she's passed. I tell people that she's sort of the female version of Elvis.
Oh.
You know, her music has lasted this long.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I mean, it's incredibly
actually.
classic. So, you know, I want the younger people to still know it. And
well, there you go.
I'm going to do my part.
And you should come out to the show.
Yes.
Yeah, at the Americana.
Americana Theater.
And we'll put a little link to the website and all that stuff. And, well, thanks for talking with us. It's been very, very interesting.
Me.
So
I appreciate it.
We'll go ahead and start recording now. And was this on? Oh, this was on the whole time. All right, I guess
hope.
we got that. The look on your face was just classic.
Thank you very much.
They'll appreciate that at home. But thank you very much for talking with us. And we're out here with CJ Newsom out at the Americana Theater. So it was great. Thanks for listening to All Things Branson, and keep listening for all the latest news here in Branson, Missouri. Bye-bye.